welcome to Oh Brother, a podcast where we try to figure it all out. With your hosts, Brandon and Collin. On this week's show, cult-inducing gas station. Ahoy!
Ahoy!
How goes it?
It goes well. I come to
Oh.
you live from spring break. Florida. It's weird. This year, they decided it's the weirdest spring break ever, right? They treated it like a lot of schools treat, a lot of schools used to treat, ours still does, Thanksgiving, right? We had school Monday and Tuesday this week.
Oh, no.
And then we're off the rest of the week. I don't know.
That is
why.
Schools. Poor choice.
Yeah. A lot of schools are going to, like, on Thanksgiving, right? International listeners, Thanksgiving traditionally on Thursday, right? So that's why this is important. So for Thanksgiving, like forever, a ton of schools went to school Monday and Tuesday, and then we're off Thursday, Friday, or Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, right? But a lot of schools now are just going like, forget it, just the whole week, whatever.
Yeah,
and
I mean that would make sense.
Yeah, because going to school for 2 days in a week is it's kind of rough, right? Like it's like, what do we do?
Yeah,
we have to just like cram a bunch of stuff in there, and then this week is really awkward, right? Because we're just at like the right spot where it's time for our presentation about the Greek gods, right? That's what we're working on right now.
Yeah.
And so like basically Monday had to give it out, and then Tuesday we worked on it, and then they won't see it again for 5 days. They'll probably forget what they're doing, and then we have to come back and be like, oh, right, finish up and we'll present on Tuesday. Go. But there's like, what? Like, I don't know.
Yeah, I mean you can't go into anything too in depth, but too light, and then you're just not using that time effectively.
Yeah, we have to do like something, right? So like, I don't know. And then kind of we're almost ready for a science test also. So like, I don't exactly know how much, like, I don't know when or what. I don't know exactly how that's going to plan out, right? It's very, we have like a little bit more, but like not a whole lot, but like, so I don't know.
Okay.
Have to see, right? We'll just have to see how it goes. Which makes the planning phase very difficult, right?
Yeah.
So, we'll see. I don't know.
All right.
So that's where I'm at. Being confused about my class schedule. That's what I'm doing.
Well, I mean, at least that should be, maybe that is it a familiar place, maybe?
I mean, sort of, yeah, like, whatever, but
fair.
It's just always the timing thing, because like I don't want to give a quiz on a Monday. I just don't really like doing that, right? It really is not good.
No, it's
right?
not.
Like, it's just a whole thing, and it's like nobody likes doing that, like coming in, because I mean I start like first thing in the morning, right? So like nobody wants to come to school like first thing and be like, oh, quiz Monday. Yeah.
No,
like no, that's just
don't do
not
that.
really. And if you want them to be successful, right, you have to like set them up successfully, right? You can't just be like, yes, Monday, and then expect like great things, right? Like, it's really
right.
You have to kind of lead them into this, right? You got to set up some parameters. You have to set up some like successful practices. Otherwise, it's could just throw it at him and be like, oh, well, whatever. Like, I want you to do well. I want you to like, be in a position where you would remember some of this stuff later, maybe. Who knows? And so well, so I don't want to just like throw things at you on a Monday morning.
Nobody likes to start their day with that.
No. And again, they're not like the hardest things in the world, right? The point of the quiz is not to be like mega difficult and like super challenging and all that stuff. But like, we do need some level of that, right? We have to like put something in there. So we have to figure out how to make it like the best it can be, and just throwing at them first thing on Monday morning, not the solution.
No, not at all.
So yeah, just doing some planning. That's basically it. That's where I'm at currently.
Okay.
Trying to figure out what to do with myself the rest of this week. So
sorry.
Yeah, it's all right. And so it's fine. I'm not sad. It's like, oh no, sitting right at home.
And the weather's gotten colder, so that's been great too.
Yeah, that's nice.
Swung back.
It's really weird. It's really bouncing around a lot, right? Like, oh, freezing cold. Oh, really hot. It's going to be like 75 on Sunday for Easter. So, but today was like 40. Well, no, it was like 50 today, I guess. Yesterday was very cold. Like incredibly cold yesterday. So, yeah, it's kind of weird.
Yeah, we had. So go ahead.
I was gonna say the only other thing I'm doing tomorrow, going to see one of the like our friends, I guess, and she's like a former student, and we're going. It's the girl.
Do they know you're coming? Do they know?
Yeah. Well, it's one of the girls that works at that restaurant that we took you to, right?
Oh, sure. Okay, cool.
Yeah, we were talking to her, and she was just like, "Oh yeah, I'm moving to Thailand for 6 months." What?
That's a big thing.
Yeah. So we're gonna go visit with her, see like what's up, like why, what are you doing? Be cool.
Kind of
depending on when she's leaving. She's leaving very soon, so she might even make it in time for New Year's with the elephants and the stuff. That'd be cool. The like water throwing and the big painted elephants and all the things. I think that's April. I think it's April. So have to see. But yeah, that was a surprise because Susan wanted her to come to the like multicultural thing, right? Because she's like very into this kind of stuff. And she was like, oh yeah, I can't make it. I have to do all this stuff. I'm getting ready to leave for Thailand. I was like,
casually
just going, right? And she's like visited before, like stuff, but we're going to discover like what exactly are you doing? What is happening here? What in the world's going on? So that's the other big mystery for tomorrow. I'm gonna go find out what is up with this. Who just decides to go to Thailand for like half a year, like just for funsies? So,
well, you probably don't know a whole lot of information about this because you're going to go talk with her. But I'm like,
yeah, this is all I got so far.
Okay.
Mysterious Thailand visiting. So yeah, I don't know. That's the mystery. A quest to uncover some information tomorrow. That's the plan. Good.
Okay. Yeah, just that's a lot of. That's a big. I don't. Have you ever? Did you ever think about that kind of thing, about what it would be like to just go disappear like that for 6 months or whatever?
Yes, I have been shopping for houses in Italy. So
sure,
like what?
Fair point.
What? Yeah. What would my Italian existence be like? Right? What would that be? Just like chill. It sounds cooler in my head than it probably would be. Right?
I don't know.
It'd
be
like
pretty cool.
I don't know. There's probably a lot of extraordinary like difficult things to overcome, right? Like, first of all, of course, the fact that I do not speak Italian. So
Minor
that would be a
inconvenience.
problem. Yeah, is a slight problem, right? But like, what does one do for like that amount of time? Right?
Yes.
Like,
yeah.
So like if you were going for like 6 months, right? Because like, when you go on vacation, it's like a week and a half, 2 weeks, whatever. Like you like do the things and you blah blah blah, and then you like come home, right? So, but what is it like to like exist in such a different environment where like like you can't do stuff like all day every day, right? Like I'm a person that likes to like sit. So what is that like? What is when you're not like when you're not like looking at all the cool like cultural stuff and you just need to like be right? Like what is that experience like? That's the part that's kind of like daunting a bit. Like what do you do? Just like because like today, most of the day, I like sat around the apartment and like read and like watched TV and blah blah. But like, what is that?
Yeah, I would have to have a project, that's for sure. But then there are days like I don't know, like there are days where I go.
Buying an Italian house probably has a lot of side quests involved, right? That would be
immediately awesome project to keep up all of your time. Now, also
like shopping for like rebuying like random kitchen staples for your second house. Like, oh, I need a knife. Where does one buy a knife?
Yes.
Right? Like,
yes. Now, unfortunately, I don't know. Now is a bad time. The euro is not quite worth a whole lot in US dollars. So it does mean that you'd have to budget quite extensively to make that money last, because it's not as though like when like $1 was worth $1.25 euro, 1 year.
When it's like basically the same, right?
Yeah, it's actually a little less. Like $1 is equal to 92 cents.
Yeah, something like
that. That's what I think about too. Of like, okay, I'm going to disappear for 10 months or 6 months. Where's money coming from? Like, how do I? live?
Right. Then if you're just gonna do that for like, again, if you're gonna do that, like a place like Thailand would be where you want to go, because then your dollar goes a very long way, right? Like, right. So you want to go to like, you have to pick a place where the currency that you have is of a higher value, I guess, because you need to make it last longer. You know what I mean? So like pick random. The problem is some of those countries, not the best place to spend 6 months, right? Like, I don't know if it's right, just like for various reasons, maybe not the best time to just like hang out in like X country for, maybe it's cheaper, but also maybe it's not like, safe or whatever. So, so you gotta balance the line, figure it out, right? But yeah, I don't know. Like, I didn't even make it that far with like how do you afford things. Like, just like, what do you do, right? What do you do? You just like,
well, I think a whole lot of haikus would get written. That's what I'm thinking.
I mean, that's definitely true, but
ready for this.
Like, I mean, yeah, you have to go on like random quests of like, I need a blanket. Where does that happen? Like, what? I need stuff. Like, oh, I have to go explore and find things and go on many journeys to discover them. Right.
Exactly.
But you could potentially go by train everywhere. So that makes it better.
Yeah. Lots of opportunities. It just, it's hard. Yeah, I don't know. I do think about that sometimes where I'm like, that kind of be, but I don't know. Like my life isn't exactly set up for that. So,
Well, yeah,
which
sure.
is why it's
So,
fantasy, right?
yeah, it's nice fantasy currently, right? Also, we don't have to think about it for 6 months because currently you can be just in Italy for like 3 months with like not a whole lot of worry about it. You gotta go longer than that. You need like extra visas and all these kind of things.
Yes.
Lots more paperwork that no one likes to do. So
Mm.
like max like 3 months, I think, for most things. So that cuts down a little bit, right? Can get a little bit more focused on things, right? Making this house, right? Fixing the house, making sure it has things like meeting. The ultimate fantasy here is, of course, befriending the Italian grandmother that lives nearby, right? That's the real quest
This
here,
is
right?
that's actually the main quest. I don't know what you're talking about.
Oh yeah, no, yeah, it's not the side quest. That is one of the main goals.
Befriend everybody.
Find a lovely Italian woman, grandmotherly figure to befriend, right? That's what you got to do.
Absolutely.
Right. That's an important part of existence here. So if you're going to live in some random Italian village, you must befriend the Italian grandmothers that are nearby, right? So they would teach you the ways. Like how to properly be Italian.
Yeah. That's just, I mean, that's the first trip over. That's just the first 3 months, right? And then you come back over to actually work in the house. That's what I envision this to be.
I mean, you can do those things congruently, right?
Sure. Well, it's going to take a lot of time. Right?
Yeah, that's true.
Plus, you have to go Vespa shopping. And
you do have to buy some sort of scooter, right? I think that's important. You have to. Here's the other problem, right? So, Italian villa, apartment thing, whatever. I am not fashionable enough to be an Italian currently. So I would need another side quest would be find like your Italian capsule wardrobe that would stay at your place, right? That way you don't have to travel with, you could go back and forth and not have as much luggage.
This is key. Yeah, this is.
So you have to procure your Italian capsule wardrobe that would stay in your probably vestibule. I don't know. Like
wardrobe.
Your wardrobe.
Right? Yeah.
Maybe your literal wardrobe.
Could. But this is the thing is that people don't think about this is why it's important to have this secondary place because people think, oh, I've got to disappear for 6 months or I've got to get away for maybe 3. How do I pack for that? That's the key. You're not packing, right? You're buying clothes over there. There they stay, and you come back later for them.
Yeah, maybe you bring home a pair of the loafers just to let people
broken in.
Let people know what's up. Like, you thought that I was you bring a little bit of the zestiness back with you, right?
And also wearing around too fresh of loafers over there, I'm pretty sure is offensive. So you got to break them in.
Is illegal, right? Yeah.
So they got to have well-worn look.
Yeah, the other problem, right? Well, I don't know about now, right? But here's the other problem with Italian things, right? Italian clothing, right? Not designed for big, giant American dude. So gotta take this into consideration as well, right? No Italian suits for me. They're all like slim and
very svelte.
And that doesn't really work out. So not gonna be that kind of deal. And I don't know if I know a lot of Italians are if it gets 60 degrees, they're sweater, jacket, right? I'm gonna stand out because I'll be
shorts, t-shirts.
Yeah, no shorts there unless it's 90. So gotta figure out how to blend in, right? You gotta observe, kind of catch the vibe, right? How do I assimilate here so that
I think, well, I mean,
that you're truly in the zone, you know what I mean?
Right. Well, I think that there is you will acclimate to the environment. So I think maybe after your second or third trip over, you start getting into that feel of what to wear. Maybe you just have to put up with it a little bit so you don't stop being gawked at while you walk down the street.
That's true. Right. Just maybe maybe you have to find that friendly clothing store attendant, right? Like, just like check the vibes, see what the people are wearing, and be like, okay, I'm gonna go find that. And then that lives in your Italian capsule wardrobe so that you can, blend in when you return, right? Yeah. You see?
Yes. You arrive, you run into the phone booth that you have purposefully installed
obviously.
outside of your
maybe a shed,
maybe a shed.
Like,
yep. And then you burst forth.
Yeah.
And strolling.
Yes. Strolling and whatever else you do. I don't know. But like this So yeah, put some thought into this. There are many quests to go on here. But yeah, some days you don't want a quest. Some days you just want to like chill. And that would be weird. Right? Because like, what else do you do? I don't know. What do you do for just like sitting? Like, I don't know.
Yeah. Because after a while, I know you get a little like, you get antsy, do stuff, but maybe that's when you start your I don't know. Yeah. There's a lot of history that you got to learn. Maybe do some brass rubbings.
Maybe. You're right. Right. You want to get the house de-ghosted, possibly, right? It's like, 400-year-old village. Like, you want to like, find the priest. Like, hey, can you just come throw some water around, give a couple blessings in the corners, please. Just, make sure everything's good. Like,
oh man. Yeah. That's and again, here we are like, I think what this gets at is like, there's going to be an initial burst of activity, and then if you continue to go, right, once it's kind of set up, and obviously, you still have little stuff to do and whatever, but like, what does that life look like? Because when a lot of people think of, I don't know, I see people, I'm going to go, okay, I interviewed somebody who hiked the entire Appalachian Trail by herself. It took her like 8 months, right? Like, that's a getting away and disappearing, but like, there's a lot of activities there of like walking, not dying, keeping your socks dry, like
more walking, right? Like,
it's not like, no, I'm going to go to an established villa and just enjoy that time. I don't know. I genuinely don't know if I would be able to turn my brain off for that long. I don't know. Wow.
Oh, I mean, I would, but like that again, you have to like. It's just a like a figuring out of like what is the like normal level, right?
Right.
Because like here, like in my current abode, right, very well established, have like many things, have like stuff around, right? If you go to another place, there's like zero stuff, right? So like part of this is like a bit almost unnerving, right? Because you're like, oh no, there's like no comfort zone at all, right? Where it does beguile like opportunities to like create a new zone. Initially there is nothing, right? There's only there is only like emptiness. And so that part is just like the overcoming the initial hurdle, I think, is the most terrifying bit, right? To create a sense of like normalcy in space, right, would be the hard part, I think. Like getting established, right? Because like you said, you are thinking a little bit like to, I don't know, your frenzy of activity is going to last a lot longer than mine, because you're like, oh yeah, after a couple months or your third trip back is like, no, bro, after week 3, I'm going to be like, all right, I need to calm down a little bit. I need to like,
okay, fair.
Okay, maybe not even that far, right? Like after like day 6, we're like, okay, need to rest here. Just take it in right after the flurry, like take stock, see what's happening.
Yeah, and I think that's because just again, it's one of these. That's part of the fantasy too. Of like, how am I going to react to that? Because like I've never like a week maybe is whenever it's like the longest I've ever like stepped away from anything. So just projecting out into that time, like yeah, what new equilibrium does develop? What does that look like? What is that pace of like life? Uh, come through with that, and yeah, I mean, mostly it's going to be spent befriending people in the village and.
I mean, hopefully that's true.
them.
Hopefully that is correct. Hopefully it will be, wandering about, exploring how grocery stores work, right? Like, because you have to like reacquaint yourself with a lot of things, right? Like, that's a weird thing, right? Like, what even like when you go someplace, markedly different, right? In a place that is like a culture that is not your own, like you have to think about things like, what does a person eat for breakfast, right? You know what I mean? Like very different. What what time is dinner, right? If you go to Spain, right, and you're like, it's 5:30, I think I'm gonna eat dinner. Nope, nobody, nope, sorry, that's not how that works.
I know.
So like, yeah, you do have to do some regrounding and just like see what's happening. Like, what do you eat for lunch, right? I'm pretty sure there's lots of different things, but I don't know what they are, right? Like, and being outside of your normal for that long, right? Like, here's a big problem, right? Right. So if a person were to be living in Italy for like, 3 months, let's say, there are some things that there are also things that you're going to like miss like very deeply, right? And these are things like Mexican food, right? Like what?
Yeah.
Like, I don't know if I can go that long without burritos, right? I don't know if that's I don't know if that's possible. You know what I mean? Like, I don't.
This is a very good point, considering how we are very regulars at our one of our local Mexican restaurants for Taco Tuesday.
Yeah.
So,
See?
yeah.
What about your street tacos? What do they? Oh no! Like, I'm pretty sure they probably don't have Springfield style cashew chicken available to me anywhere, and that right there is a problem. Like, I
think that just means that you have new culinary opportunities. You're already
yeah,
going
but
down this
listen,
path of learning new things.
that's
I
true.
think
But
street food stand
for culinarily, right? Culinary things should be additive, right? You don't want to start subtracting too many things, right? It's not.
Fair.
And if like I'm gonna have to find I'm gonna have to like practice making this before I leave. So like be like, oh no, just making. What do you have for dinner Thursday? Yep, cashew chicken, and I'm gonna just make it because I don't.
Yeah, and I see this developing into this is how some of that. This is where the bonds develop with those in the village start to really shine when you begin inviting them over to experience some of your cooking, because we've been going to their house an awful lot as we've been ingratiating ourselves to them. Now as we start to give back, we can
but that's a whole nother like level of terrifying. Like, what American food do you make to impress your Italian neighbors?
I think it's important to know that they will not be impressed, and B,
that's true. They probably won't be. They'll be like, bro, what is this trash? Right? Like, hit them with the biscuits and gravy. They're gonna be real confused and be like, you need to stop. Like, what are you doing?
Oh my gosh, I had stopped traveling back and forth between service areas today, and it was up early driving, and I stopped at a gas station to go use the restroom, and I walked past the hot food items, and there in a little plastic tray in one of the little things was biscuits and gravy. And I was like, right on.
Yeah. Perfect.
Oh, yeah.
You didn't stop at the cult inducing gas station, did you? You didn't stop at that one, right?
No.
You stayed away. Okay.
I did. As
Good job.
as a principled individual, that's what we do. Yes.
Yeah. Susan's mother and her husband, like, they were gonna go, like, just look at it and, like, explore and, like, go inside. And I was like, no, you don't need to. No, don't go.
Did they come away with hats? They
didn't actually go. They didn't like have time, and like it was, since it is still so new, it was like 100% full, right? And so they're like, we'll just leave. And I was like, oh, okay, dodge the bullet there. Like,
I met with I was stopping in apartments today, talking with with property managers and whatever. One of the ladies at an apartment that I was talking to was saying that the presence of that, she lives out kind of on that side of town. The presence of that has added an extra 7 minutes to her commute time.
Oh, I bet.
I was like, are you kidding me? And she's like, no. She goes, it's the most annoying thing in the world right now.
I bet. I was like, not only is it like enormous, and like the amount of like actual interstate traffic that is going there is just probably stupidly huge, right? Because it's new, right? There's also the added, like, everyone is just going.
There's the sightseeing aspect.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
There's not a utilitarian perspective need. It's just a let's go see and enjoy.
Yeah, it's like an attraction.
Yes,
right. Yes.
Which,
like,
I don't understand.
I don't either. It's a gas station, man. Like, I don't know why it's like a truck stop too, right? Like that's it. Like, you can have, I mean, yeah, like truck stops are kind of neat, I guess, right? Even though every time you are in a truck stop, like, like the normal ones, like the TA or like the whatever, like there's always stuff in there. We're like, who is buying this eagle statue at a gas station? Like, what is happening?
Yep.
Where does this want to go?
I really want to speak with, an inventory specialist for that, who's in charge of ordering what they stock, and be like, but no, really, how many people are buying this random, ceramic bust of this, this country of Hank Williams Jr. Like, please tell me,
or like this like big like coyote thing. Like, what is that? Who is that for? Like, who is that for, really? Like, sometimes there's, I've been to some, right? They're always in like Texas, but not the one, right? But like, there's like, like when we drove to Arizona, right? There's like, there's like obligatory like rattlesnake things and like weird hats and stuff like that. But like, there's a lot of things. Sometimes it's like a lamp. You're like, what? Who is buying a lamp at a truck stop?
Yeah.
Like, it's not even something you could put in your truck, right? It's not even like a truck related item. Like, I'm not a trucking expert by any means, but like, there's not enough room in some of those. I mean, there might be, but like, I don't know of a lot of like over the road truckers that are like, oh yeah, I need this like big Tiffany style lamp. That's what I need. Like, what that? No, like what?
No, it's a really good point, and it makes you think about, well, I mean, just I know I've seen like embroidered like towels, like hand towels and stuff there. You're going, who is stopping in for fuel, coming in to then use the restroom, which everybody does, and then going, what? How did they know? Like, that's exactly what I need for my deer. It's not a Bed Bath and Beyond, and yet, here we are.
There's like, there was one that we stopped at in like I don't know, it was in New Mexico somewhere, I think. And there was just like, we just went in there, but there's like a bunch of just weird things everywhere. Like, it's so strange. I don't know. I do actually turn it somewhere. Oh, there it is. I must confess, I did on that trip somewhere in the middle of the New Mexican desert. I did buy a Panama hat thing, right? Did buy that because we were going to go do some more like outdoorsy stuff, and then eventually we were just like, we're going home. I don't want to be here anymore. So I never used it for what I was planning on using it for. But it's because we ran away.
Well, sure.
But like
so see that they had, again, I'm sure they had a lot of data analytics that they were like, Panama hats. Everybody needs
one. I mean, it's a desert. I thought I was going to be outside a long time. I might need more than just like my normal hat, right? Because I am a fair-skinned boy. So, didn't want that. But then we decided we need to leave the state of Arizona and possibly never return. So I need
to... Possibly, you mean absolutely never return.
I mean, I haven't been back yet. So
see, look, holding true to that promise.
There's that. That was about 15 years ago. So doing good so far.
Yeah.
But so but yeah, they were talking about they were going to go check it out and they were going to go see and they were going to go look around all stuff. It's like, what? You don't need to do that. Please don't go do that. Don't become indoctrinated into the cult that is service station.
Yeah, I did not. I specifically avoided it. I went to another gas station and stared at their gelatinous gravy in a plastic tub and was like, that's exactly what we need. Absolutely.
Yeah, it is. I actually don't think I've ever bought any hot food from a gas station.
Really?
Well, maybe like, yeah, not while I was traveling. I think I've bought like gas station like pizza before, right? But like, I think that might be it. Yeah, like when I lived in another town, their gas station like sold pizza. They had like a thing, right? So I bought that.
Sure.
But outside of that, I don't think I don't buy hot food items at gas stations.
Yeah. Right? I'm trying. You got me thinking. I think I've done pizza. I think I've also done like a sausage biscuit like breakfast sandwich. I've done that as well.
Did I? But maybe I might have done something like that before. But it's not. If I did, it was not. It's not a frequent thing.
Sure.
Right. I just don't know. Like the large portion of my life, right? When we were younger, right, and we were like traveling extensively to like summer camps and things like this, and we would stop at all these gas stations, right? This was just long enough ago that a lot of the gas station food was like, it's like the stereotypical gas station food where it was like, I'm not sure how long it's been in this roller thing.
Yeah, it's the rollers.
Like, I don't really want to get food poisoning from this gas station. Like, like freshness was not a word that you used, So like I just avoided it altogether and just was like, oh well, I guess we'll get like I have bought gas station like sandwiches from like the cooler.
Sure.
I've done that before.
Yeah, I bought wraps.
Yeah,
as well.
I bought that kind of stuff before, I guess. Because like on our road trips, you're just like, oh yeah, sandwich, that's no problem. So I have bought those before, and those little triangle things, you know.
Oh yes, yeah, the little wedges with like
the little wedges that have the sandwich in there.
Kind of the foam bread where you're like, what is really happening here?
Yeah, it's fine.
Not a big deal.
And then I think I did buy like a wrap or like a bigger sandwich in like a plastic. It looked like the sandwich you buy at Walmart, kind of, but it was at the gas station. So I bought those before, but I don't remember. Okay, I'm going to caveat this asterisk. I don't remember ever buying hot food items from a gas station. So, so I don't understand the draw, right? Like,
yeah,
I understand why that's a selling point. Like, they have brisket. Like, yeah. You know what else has brisket? Any of the other like 700 barbecue restaurants that are nearby.
And very importantly here, they're not. It's not from a gas station, right? Like,
yeah, I don't care how. Like, I'm notorious for not particularly liking barbecue anyway, right? I just don't ever. Like, I'll eat it. It's fine, but like, I don't ever go like, oh man, you know what I need right now? Barbecue sandwich. Like, much to Susan's chagrin, I don't think about this, right? Because she does, in fact.
Maybe time to reconsider.
If you are in Springfield and you have like a large choice of barbecue, right? Why would you get it from a gas station? Right? Why would you do that? I don't understand why that is your choice. Like, oh yeah, this is where I'm going.
Yeah.
Right? I don't get it. I don't get it. If you're in Springfield and you really, really need barbecue real bad, the obvious answer is, of course, crosstown barbecue. Right. Of course. Let's be real here. There's only one real choice.
Only
you want to go to crosstown barbecue. That's where you want to go.
Yes.
You don't want to go to a gas station. No. You don't want to go anyplace else. I mean, there's lots of other acceptable barbecue restaurants, but like, why would you not want to go to crosstown? It's the best one, in my opinion. As a person who is not a giant barbecue enthusiast, that's when you want to.
Well, yeah. And again, not gas station. I think of maybe it's just, look, it could be some biases coming out here of, as soon as you add gas station as either a prefix or suffix to a food item, it just, conjures up a few things. Maybe just mentally, I get some blockages in there. Real bad.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Right.
Like, that's what I struggle with.
Yeah, that is. Yeah, I agree. Again, I don't understand why you would seek that out. I understand if you are like, I'm glad that this exists for the transportation industry, right?
Yeah.
If you are a truck driving individual, right? You can't go to Crosstown Barbecue and just like hang out, because you have a schedule you have to keep. You have a lot of things you have to do. You have to do this stuff, right? And so it is good that you, the professional driver, have increased options for you, right? I'm not talking about that. Those people work very hard. They have very long hours. They do a lot of stuff. They do need more food options. I think that's good for them, right? I feel like this is good. It's good for your morale. It's good for all the stuff, right? You don't want to just be eating like cheese and crackers and like peanuts all day long. That's not good, right? That's bad. So I'm not talking about transportation professionals here. I want to make that clear in this side note, right? I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about like just a random looky-loo person that's like, oh yeah, I have infinite choices and I'm gonna choose barbecue from here. Like, what? That's so weird.
Answer is no. Don't. Avoid at all costs.
Yeah. It's so strange. It's so out of left field. Like just completely random and like go to Crosstown Barbecue. The dude is super nice. He's really great. I met him a few times before. He probably doesn't know that. But I remember him being awesome. Super friendly guy. Makes excellent barbecue. So there you go. That's what that's what you need in your life.
Well met. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Check and check.
Yeah. Steve. Yeah, Steve. There you go. I had to look it up.
Like, who even knows his name after we Googled?
Yes. He's a great dude. So go see Steve. Get some Crosstown Barbecue. Right. Yeah. I still to this day the jingle from the old commercial jingle plays in my head because it was to the tune of the oh crud. I was just thinking about it. What's the tune of that song? The dun, da, da, do, da, do, da, do, da, dee, da, da, ba, 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 dee, da, do, da, do,
oh, what is that?
In the mood, right?
In the
that.
mood, yes.
Yeah, they had a jingle. They had a commercial. They had the Crosstown Barbecue song to the melody of In the Mood. And it was probably the catchiest thing in the history of the universe.
Yeah.
Huh. Right? That's...
Huh.
So that's... I still will hum that sometimes. And I don't hum the In the Mood thing. I'm like, wherever you go there to Crosstown Barbecue. Like, oh my gosh, what the heck? Fine. Good marketing. Bring that back. Man, you need that back in your life.
Submit feedback form.
Submit that to them. Yeah, bring back the In the Mood jingle. Right. Hashtag not sponsored by Crosstown Barbecue, by the way. Just
hard. One would be hard put.
Just want to make sure that you know this. Right. Gotta say this out here. Like, hashtag not sponsored, by the way. Just I'm shilling real hard for my man, Steve. But
sounds like I know where we need to go record our live in person podcast.
That's right. Susan will be enthusiastic about this plan. Because she does love barbecue. That is, she's a big enthusiast.
Oh, one of those.
Indeed. So anyway, what else have you been up to?
You know, not a whole lot. It's been we kind of we are past our big spring break rush as a business, so things have been really calm and
that's nice.
So it's been
relatively
weird,
normal,
right? But it's also been like it's because of how just the economy is right now and how people travel. Like they all go for like a ton of people go for much shorter time windows as opposed to what they used to happen. It was more spread out, and they're like, "Oh, I'll take 4 days, or I may take 9 days, or I may take." They're all like, "No, 3 days, and we're all leaving." And so it's just like really, really crazy. And
everybody picks the same 3 days. Like,
yes, they all pick the same 3 days. And then there's a hard crater afterwards, right? Because then it's like there's nothing. And then you kind of pick up a few people there. So
yeah,
it's been weird. Just like the pacing of things has been off, which throws me off. But I was in town today making some stops, and I'm coming up to this apartment complex, and you kind of look at vehicles, right? And I think like, do I think that person lives here? Do they own this? Right? Like, or like, are they an investor in this property or whatever? And I definitely came across somebody who had was definitely an investor in them as they got into their because I saw the guy standing in the office talking with someone else who also looked rather hot and bothered about something, and then he not stormed out, but he stalked out and opened the luxurious door to his Bentley Continental. And
good gravy. What?
and then the GT, and then shut the door with with then
the force,
and then took off. And the first thing that I thought of was James May taking that on the rally stage.
Yeah, right.
And I just had to laugh because it was one of those things. Again, the whole point of that show was just to show the marvelous engineering that goes into cars and the people behind them, and they just make these fantastic machines that you can pretty much do anything with. And then to think like, here's this guy, and he's gonna go, and like max speed on that today is probably going to be 57 miles an hour, and just to think of what torturous things have been done to that, both on the Grand Tour actually, and Top Gear. So that made me laugh. Like that's the first thing I thought of was James May rallying that.
I mean, yeah, it's true, but that's also insane. Like, who just driving a Bentley around Springfield? What the heck, man? What is it?
Seriously,
calm down.
This is the thing where I'm like, it's insane, and it was local plate. It was Missouri plates, and yeah. So then of course I was on Facebook Marketplace trying to figure out like what are the price range? What is a Bentley GT Continental?
No.
What is this?
You could probably buy an Italian house for less. So
fun fact, you could either buy a 2006 Continental GT, or you could probably buy 3 Italian villas. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, there you go. That's I think I know what's up here. I know what I'm picking.
It was just one of those, just that moment where you're just standing there, and you're like, oh,
what is happening?
Okay, ta-ta now, I guess.
That's funny.
Yeah. But yeah, we're I need some water. Oh.
Anyway, vamping and filling space.
But no, I've been doing lots of because when the is downtime in the business, I do a lot more administrative business stuff and podcast interviews and stuff like that. So that's been, and then the kids are on their school that they go to doesn't have a spring break. They call it an Easter break, and it's like weirdly long and spans between 2 weeks. So that's what's weird. Like it starts on a Wednesday and like ends on a Wednesday, like, and it goes across the weekend. Yeah. So we've got this really long break that we're on right now. And trying to figure out like, what do we do? Are we going to go anywhere? I don't know. But Noah starts baseball practice next week. So he's excited about that. Yes. We signed up. We signed up for that. Signed up for that. And it's already off to a really good start.
Is it?
So again, this is run by the city parks department, and they get, volunteer people to do it. So I'm very thankful for that. But it's tough. We are so used to Megan and I like kind of hyper scheduling her in my days and times of like where we're going to be, how we're going to be there, what does that mean, what can we take on, what don't we take on, what do we say yes to? Like,
yeah,
that's something that's constantly on our mind. This was the very first message from the coach at 10 o'clock last night. Hey everyone, sorry for late text. Made this group chat so it's easier for me to talk to everybody. I'm texting to let everyone know our first practice is this coming Monday at 5:30 at this park. See everyone there. A pretty chill intro to this. And so all the other parents are texting one another at 10 o'clock at night saying, Braxton's super excited. Carter can't wait. Christian's super going to be there. Riker's really ready. And I'm like, can't wait. Hey, do you have any other dates that you can share with us at this time so I can get it on my schedule? And they respond and go, yeah, I'll ask about more game days. See if they know about that. Yep. All I know is that practice is Monday at 5:30. Oh, and Thursday at 6:30.
That's good too.
And I'm like, I go, oh, so we're already like within 2 texts. We're already adding dates, right? Right? Like, yeah. Oh, you said Monday, and now it's Monday and Thursday. Okay. Right.
Yeah. This is why whenever I coached many years ago, when I coached my soccer team, right, I just went. It was like the same day as every week.
Yeah.
These days, I can't remember if it was once or twice a week. Not important. But like if it was like Tuesday, for example, it was like, yep, Tuesday at 5.
Yep.
Every Tuesday.
Well,
Go.
I'm glad I asked, because apparently he was just going to wait until Monday to then tell us about the Thursday practice that we were supposed to be attending, right? Like that's what had gave me anxiety of like, oh, okay, right. Like I'm trying to, but like here this goes tie back into the fantasy of like what am I going to be doing for 6 months? Like I just going to be breathing. I'm just going to be embracing it. I'm just going to learn, and I'm just going to go, I'll know when I need to know, right? Like when it's important, I'll be informed, and I will just trust for them to. It's hard. Very hard.
It'll be fine.
For me.
It'll be fine.
For me. So, yeah, we're going to go to a local sports, kind of like a local version of an academy, but it's a sports supply center, and go get a himlet and pants and shoes and all that other stuff. So, because it is, because they do say it is like they want you to have that. But I'm also like, I want to go this weekend, but also I'm like, well, maybe we wait for Monday and just see. But I'm the only one who's asked any questions up to this point, and I don't want to ask more questions. But also, do we need to show up with pants? But do I need to buy white pants or black pants, or like
that would be an important distinction, right? Do you have a glove?
But we do have a glove. We have
all
a glove.
Right, good. That's okay. That's good. Start there. Boom. Done.
Yeah. So
ready for practice.
I'm like borderline, like maybe I just text the coach like directly and personally and ask my more follow-up questions here, because I don't know. Or do I just go, well, just if we were supposed I'm going to trust that if we were supposed to show up with more, he would have told us to show up with more. So we're just going to show up and breathe. Like I'm fighting. I'm internal battles here.
Where's the park? I don't remember in my extensive baseball career. I don't think I ever practiced in like uniformy things, right? But that was a long time ago, so I don't know. But we just practiced in like whatever, like
right. Well, here I'm like, I don't know. Does he need to practice in the shoes? Like, I get like to me that would be kind of important, so you know what those feel like and how.
Yeah, when you got to get them broken into,
but like and grab and break them in.
Yeah.
But also, like, is that weird? So
I don't know. Yeah, maybe not. Yeah, where was the second part?
That's what I'm thinking. We'll show up, and if they have stuff, they do. They don't, whatever. So
as long as you got a glove, right?
Glove?
That's the most important part.
I think so.
You need baseball glove to play baseball, right?
Some say it's important.
It is, right? Potentially a bat, maybe, but I don't know if you have to provide your own bat or not.
There is
this young age, so like because we just had some. Like,
I read a document that they have procured very early on in this process that I have yet to be able to find again. Not surprising, but I think that they said that the bats they can provide helmets. They may have some to share, but they really strongly encourage everybody to have their own. I think for like lice reasons,
probably
kind of thing. You know, like totally understand. But
yeah, because we just had them in a duffel bag. I seem to remember.
Yeah, and that's not very conducive to killing anything. So
it's fine. You could like spray stuff in there. It's fine. And there's like,
so that's off to a grand start with organization, because Megan and I also came off of a very interesting lack of organization, which actually played to our benefit. So we went to the our local Chamber of Commerce awards banquet, and back in January they had sent out this email that was like, hey, if you want to attend, email us at this address and tell us who's going to be there, how many, and blah blah. And so Megan did back in January 10th. I have the email, and it's been sitting there. It's been on our calendar. Great, we're going to show up. We show up. They say, oh, did you guys RSVP? And we were like, yes, back in January. And they look at the list. They look at us and they go, let us go check. They probably updated the list. Let me go see what we have. I watch them scurry off as they frantically find chairs.
Lord.
Get a new placemat. And they just throw us at this table. And they go, oh, you can come sit over here, sit over here, sit over here. Okay. We go over, we sit down, we excuse me. We are putting our stuff down, and that's whenever I kind of look over and I notice like there's the seat for the president of the chamber, and there's the seat for the grand poobah, and there's a board member, and there's that's a county commissioner, and that's a state representative, and that's a what they had done is they panicked, and because they realized that they had messed up, and they just threw, because it's hard. They have two people that they have to sit, that they know they need to sit together, and none of the other tables had space. And so they put us at the head table. and so
awkward. Yeah,
right up at the front of everything. And I hate this so much. But there are people in this life that when they see other people in positions of perceived authority or importance, they become deferential to them just because of this weird perception. Okay? I'm sitting at this table with these people around. This random man who I don't know this person. I've never met them in my life.
Please tell me you were still wearing your pet sitter t-shirt.
I wasn't wearing just a pet sitter t-shirt. We have kind of nicer polos that are black.
All right. I was just wondering.
Yeah, that would have been
sitting there in your position of power, and you're just t-shirt that says pet sitter.
I was wearing a black polo that said pet sitter, basically. But
all right, that's a little more banquety.
It said Funky Bunch in like nice little letters, whatever. But
so a lovely font. All right,
yes, lovely fonts with our brand font. Montserrat. Anyway, I'm sitting there, and he comes over and like sticks out his hand to glad hand me, and was like, thank you for all you guys do for the chamber. We really appreciate it. Your support's great. We couldn't do this without you. It's so wonderful. And I'm like shaking his hand, nodding, and I'm like, wonderful to meet you. And then he turns and walk away. And I realize what has just happened. Again, he was like, oh, head table, important person.
Yeah.
I better go say hi to them. And then I turned to Megan and she goes, what just happened? And I was like, I don't know. I don't know what's going on. And then this person from the community comes over and is like talking with us, and she goes, well, I wanted to introduce you to the state representative who's here so that you can meet him. And I'm shaking his hands, and she's introducing, and she turns to one of the county commissioners, and she's talking to us. And then she turns and she looks at Megan and I, looks at her table and goes, oh, I didn't know you were sitting with them, and got kind of offended. And turned and walked away. And I was like, I wanted to explain of like
no, I didn't know either.
I didn't know either.
Just threw me here.
The chamber messed up. Here's my email from January 10th. I'm not supposed to be here, apparently. I'm really sorry. And then the whole night, I'm just sitting there and I'm like watching people get their awards and whatever, and we're clapping and we're eating our dinner. But the whole night, I'm like, people must be so confused. Because so far, two people were very confused about why those people were sitting at that table with everybody else. And I was it's just like, I really hope that they went home and were like, why was Collin and Megan sitting at the, what did they do? How'd they get in? What's going on? And it just, I hope that just sends shockwaves through people's brains of like, I don't know. Again, this is the fantasies that live in my world. Mostly probably what happened and went, huh, that's weird, and moved on. But I really hope it bothered at least one person.
I mean, it's going to bother that one lady.
Just
for sure. Maybe nobody else. But that one lady is going to be sitting with that for a couple days at least.
Yes.
Be like, what's going on here?
I hope. Yeah.
Be like launching an investigation. Like, what's going on? What's happening? Why?
Because she is in level of like community importance and involvement. She is way high, like really, really like upper echelon kind of people in the community. And so that's what made it all the more all the better. Because like she she knows the state representative by like personally. Like I'm pretty sure has had dinner over at her house with their family and his, and like like I'm sitting here like a, you know, at the table with him. I'm like, hi.
Yeah, just hanging out. What's up? How's it going?
Just hanging out. Just hanging out. Oh, in case you were wondering, the food was not all that delicious. I didn't even get dessert.
Unsurprising.
Not surprised. And
most banquety things, the food's just, it's always disappointing.
No,
right?
No. And to make this even better, in all of the advertising, on all the social media, on all the newsletters, was there any mention of this being did you need to pay to attend this thing? Answer's no. Answer's no. No.
Oh, what a terrible surprise.
So imagine my surprise when the very next day we get an invoice.
Good grief.
I'm for an amount of money that Megan, like a fancy dinner would not. I couldn't spend this amount of money to go to a fancy dinner like anywhere.
Lord.
I was shocked, and I'm just staring at this, and I'm like, what? And then we pour through everything, and on no advertising is this something that they said to get your tickets, to get your very expensive tickets.
Yeah,
go here.
That's weird.
Yep. And so I sent a message back and said, gotta be honest, I'm a little surprised to see this. And I included some screenshots of this, and I said, I didn't see anything about pricing on this, and I would like to know like where I can find that. And the response was, oh, well, we've always charged for this. It costs money to rent the venue and get the food. So thanks.
So not coming next year, just so you know. Like
I said, that's going to make it even better because, next year I was kind of like, oh, that's going to be sad because we're not going to get to sit at the fancy table. We're going to sit in the back like everybody else. But now we're not even going to be there. So even more rumors can spread about what happened.
What happened? How did you become offended by the table that you were sitting at? Which person caused the strife deep enough for you to not return? Right.
This is the small town that I am here for. Like every step of the way.
Imagine how much you're going to enjoy being in a tiny Italian village. Man, that's going to be
all of the intrigue. I am here for every moment of the intrigue. And I will do what I can to further it and make sure that there are depths and layers and more mystery beneath. Like I'm just here for that. So I'm ready to create. We need a backstory. We need different alibis.
Okay. All right. Well, I think we can make this work, right? I think we can do this. We can come up with controversy here. We can probably I can have the 6th grade girls write this. It'll be extra good that way. We can
it will really come off. It will have an air of authenticity at that point.
It really will, right? It will be very authentic. It will be
fewer things are more authentic than state fairs. Actually,
that's true. It's
coming together of people from all walks of life, for various reasons, and state for purposes of their own, and gather around commonalities. A lot around culture and specifically music
and fried foods.
Lots of fried foods and music.
Yeah, so this year, ladies and gentlemen, the Missouri State Fair lineup is very confusing.
I think you mean amazing.
It's so
one. It is glorious.
It is. I have no idea what it's a lot, right? So Collin this morning sent me a screenshot of the newest member of the Missouri State Fair grandstand, right? And so I did some more investigating, and it turns out there are 4 to be announced spots. And so Collin and I have decided to fantasy draft, fantasy book the 4 remaining spots on the list.
Which is
before we go into our strategy here, I feel like we should go over the current attendees, right? So I'm going to read these off to you, and we can make some commentary as we go down here, right? This is in chronological order, by the way. So I don't know what that means. I don't know if they're like building towards something or if they just like stick people places.
Yeah.
But first one is Foreigner. Big one. The Foreigner farewell tour making a stop. Missouri State Fair.
Did you read what they're doing on their farewell tour?
No, I didn't go that far.
Okay. So Foreigner has only been around since 2004, which seems like I don't believe that. But
I think that's the new Foreigner. I think there's a new singer and stuff like that, right? I feel like with the current singer they've only been that because the other guy, there's a thing they replaced the singer. I know that.
Yes. So they in its original incarnation, or sorry, the current incarnation started in 2004. As part of their farewell tour, they started this back last year in July of 2023, and their goal is to go back to every place they've ever performed. Since they started.
Wow. Yeah, Foreigner in itself has been around since at least the 80s.
Yes.
Right. I think the singer, he either can't sing anymore or he's sick or something. I don't remember exactly what happened, but they got a new singer guy. And that's why. But that's crazy. I did not know that.
Yeah. It's going to be, so that is interesting.
That's kind of an interesting farewell tour plan. Right. There you go.
I kind of like that too. Of like, because like you think about like going back as a rock band, right? Of going like, we are a lot bigger now than we were when we started back then, even though, long history, blah, blah, blah. Like it's kind of cool to see them come back to whatever. So anyway, yeah.
So there you go. So Foreigner kicking off. Then we have a person named Warren Zeiders.
Zeiders?
I have I confess, I have no idea who this person is. So,
same. No idea.
So no offense, Warren, but no clue. Then we have the Goo Goo Dolls, which is what Collin sent me this morning, and I was like, "What?"
Yes. Yes.
The Goo Goo Dolls. There you go. We have a Tracy Lawrence, which I somewhat remember. I think country music-y person, I believe. It's a very country music name, and also they're wearing a cowboy hat in this picture, so I would assume that he is a country singer.
Good.
Another person, it's Tauren Wells? Question mark?
Yes.
Don't know.
We'll go with that.
Who that is. And then, ladies and gentlemen, somehow, some way, the Missouri State Fair featuring Ludacris. Luda comes to the State Fair, right? It's an interesting year for Luda, right? Super Bowl, Missouri State Fair. I don't really know how it's
go any bigger than that, actually.
Yeah, that's true. It's true.
Time to retire. Going his farewell tour.
Yeah. Yeah, there you go. So there are still 4 spots open. So Collin and I have decided to pick. So I want to know, first of all, your strategy for this.
So this one was interesting. They I went back a couple years and looked at kind of other some bands that have performed. Just to give some context, just real quick. The lineup for last year, they had one of the people from Florida Georgia Line. They had Lainey Wilson, which was a big hit. Three Doors Down came and performed.
That's a very State Fair band right there.
That's a good one, right? Then they have some lesser known people, at least to me, like Corey Asbury. They had a country comeback tour featuring a bunch of different artists. They had Riley Green and Randy Houser, and they had Nelly. So last year was again, they do try and pull this mix of genres. And the Missouri State Fair has a long history of having people coming back again and again and again. So
okay.
It is also very interesting. But each year they don't have like, oh, and all these same people performed here last year. Like,
oh yeah,
so,
it's like a couple years later, maybe
5 or 10 years sometimes. Like, so that is something that is to keep in mind. They have this history, but also they more recently, within the past 10 years, like to have a variety of people.
Sure.
Obviously given by Foreigner and Ludacris.
I tried to keep that in mind when I was making my list.
Okay.
Right. I thought about that. I thought about, I need a variety. I can't pick just a whole bunch. I can't pick 4 people from a single genre. Right. That'll never work.
Nope.
The other thing that I thought was important, it was like, obviously I can't pick people I've never heard of to be on my list.
Yes.
So that is a blind spot for me, right? I can't just pick like random people I don't know. But I did think about a lot of these people, right? Popular at least 20 years ago.
Ding, ding,
That's who plays state fairs. Right. Because it's a lot of times, right? You go through the cycle, it's people, they want to get people that like when you were in high school, right? You listen to them, and now that you're like an adult and maybe you have a family, you want to see them again. You're going to bring your family to the fair to see them, right? This is the marketing strat, right? So we need some older acts, right? So nothing probably from the last 10 years. That's important, right? Now that doesn't mean that these people still aren't performing, obviously, because here they are performing, right? But like the big, like when they hit big, it was like before. Right. So that's what I was thinking about as well. Trying to think back to the late 90s, 2000s era.
Now, also keeping in mind, and this is hard for me, but also keeping in mind, like, you can't have, like, this is why they have some of the unknowns or like the new plus some bigger acts. So it also makes it hard too. But like, this is so. I understand that from a planning perspective, you can't have all of the major acts from like 20 to 30 years ago. Like, you can't, but
that's true.
But also,
I thought about like who's some like mid-tier people, right?
Right.
Like they're not like bad, right? But they're not like the top, right? This is the area that are like secretly good sometimes, right? Right. If you're listing them in a list, right? These would be like if you do those, those tiered lists are popular now on the internet. People like rank things like S, A, B, C, right? Like that.
Oh yes, I hate
those. But a lot of these bands, they would go in like the B,
solid
right?
B.
They're solid.
Yep.
They're good. They're solid. You like them. They kind of fly under the radar sometimes. You don't remember them first off, but you're like, oh no, I like that. Right. This is where the B tier. Right. If we think about this list, this is really where the gold is, right? Like the diamonds in the rough. Because like everybody knows like the best ones, like the number one people, like the S tier or whatever. Everybody knows them, but like real fans know the B tier, right? That's how you know. That's where the real money's at, right? So that's what I thought about too. Like who's not like maybe not like the best. Wasn't like the most popular, but was like solid.
Yes.
And like popular enough that a lot of people did like them. And then I remember, right?
Yes. Very importantly. So this is tricky. And this is tricky because and then wide genres too is important. So I will not say that I have done a good job balancing the like because I just don't know more modern artists that would make a good B tier in their current what they're doing.
True.
Like I have
none of
no
these
idea.
are modern. I would
Yes.
say
None
all
of
of mine. Again, I was specifically looking at lists and trying to brainstorm from the '90s and early 2000s. That's
Okay.
where I drew my inspiration. So I feel like that's the correct time period that need to be at State Fair now, right?
Understood.
Still doing solid shows, kind of the adult fans coming back and reliving their high school and college times, enjoying the vibes from their favorite bands from back in the day. Right. That's what I was thinking about. So there you go.
Well, I'll have you kick this off. Is this in any particular order of what you would like to see?
This is not in any particular order. I don't have any particular order here at all. And I just clicked the wrong button and my list went away. Oh no. All right.
Okay.
So I'm gonna start with I don't really know here. I'm gonna start with well, okay, so I wanted to pick something from some country music, right?
Hey.
And so we have to, of course, go to the golden age of country music that is the 1990s, right? Because however popular you think other music genres were in the 90s, country was probably twice that. Right? Right? It really was. Right? Like, I was actually watching some stuff today about this. And like, you think like, like Biggie Smalls sold like some of his albums went like 4 times platinum, right?
Yeah.
There are country music stars in the 90s that went like 5, 6, 7, right? Like the numbers are ridiculous. It's a very, very popular genre in the 90s. So, who is a 90s country star that like probably still has a big fan base? I don't know. I only remember this person because my college roommate listened to him all the time.
Gosh. Okay.
So, I'm and I think we need more. Country music is a very important state fair genre.
Very.
Right. So of course you have to have Sammy Kershaw.
Oh.
Yeah. Right.
Okay.
Yeah. I think Sammy Kershaw. Well, I think that the whole vibe, because that's like kind of like early to mid 90s was like big popular time. Right. And so I feel like he's still out there singing and doing stuff. So I feel like that would slot in nicely to a state fair.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. No, that's a good pick. All
right.
Okay. I too went with a country music from around that time. Maybe a little bit older, I guess. Let me no. See. Trying to remember what year started. Yeah, no, it was 90s, solid 90s through the 2000s. It's not one person, it's 2 person. It might be a bigger get to kind of reach for here, but I say that. I did some deep dives on these things. This would actually be really good because again, they like to bring people back. People have not performed for a very long time at the state fair. I think they should do Brooks and Dunn.
Oh yeah. Are they still active, Brooks and Dunn?
No, I mean, are they? I
don't know, but that would be a good one. That was a big one, right? Who can forget?
Yeah. Oh, no, they are still touring across 2 different countries and 25 countries. So
right.
Yeah.
All right, nice. I did have a problem where I was like, oh, we should get these people, and then it's like not together anymore. Crap. But yeah, who doesn't want to remember their elementary school gym class of doing the boot, scoot, and boogie, doing line dancing in elementary gym class? Very integral part of American life in the 90s.
Absolutely.
Along with weirdly Filipino bamboo dancing. Also country line dancing. Very important part of PE.
Look, can't say we weren't cultured. That's all I'm saying.
True. That's a good one. That's I am definitely guilty of having at least 3 Brooks and Dunn tapes, right? From my elementary school days when I was a big country guy, right? That definitely happened.
Of course, you have to. It's literally required.
Right. Very nice. That's a good pick. I like it. Nice. All right. My next one. I settled on a rock band here,
Okay.
kind of like mid 90s and then like mid to late 90s and then kind of like the big breakout was like early 2000s. Right. It's when I remember them. So we're going to go with Chevelle.
Chevelle. Okay.
Yeah.
Yes.
There you go.
Nice.
It's like very 2002, right? I think that's good, right? It's good on the cycle, right?
Very, very good on the cycle here.
Yeah. Right? Even though I can only remember that one song, the Red song, but everybody can sing that one. And that would be a good everybody singing along at the state fair song.
Yes.
Because they know the words.
Everybody knows.
There you go.
Okay. This is very interesting. I'm just gonna I'm gonna throw out my more modern-ish rock band here. Now is to go along with that is the Black Keys.
Oh, nice.
Black Keys.
That's a good one.
Yeah,
I did see that on my list. I did see that. And I did. No, I didn't put it on my list, but I was thinking about them when I was making the list.
Oh, okay.
That is a pretty good one.
Yeah. I think that we are going to start getting into, we're going to have fewer and fewer of the old-timey rock bands as for various for reasons. But you're still going to have there's still some of those early 2000s 90s rock bands that came out that are going to start touring now at this kind of level. So
yes,
anyway, that's what I'm expecting.
That's a good one. Black Keys very solid. It's a very solid band. I like the Black Keys. It's good stuff. Nice choices so far. It's very good.
Ready for this.
My next pick, right? I had to toss up here, right? I had to really think hard about this. But in the end, there was only really one choice. I decided I was trying to pick a rap act, right?
Okay.
Some hip hop action,
yeah,
so that Luda is not alone.
Fair.
Okay, but I was trying to think like who would be that like kind of solid like that B level. No offense, right? Like 2000s, kind of the same Luda era, right? Because that's like remember like this kind of like rap is like really super popular like the early 2000s, right? So I thought I did remember last year they had Nelly, right? So we need another, gotta have more Missouri representatives at the Missouri State Fair, right? And so of course the next logical choice is Chingy.
Oh, what?
Right? Yeah, there you go. He likes the way you do that right there, right? Okay, still from the Lou, right? Still representing the Lou. That's important, right?
Oh my
God. Still can't spell hustler without the STL. I know that's an Nelly line, but it's fine. But I thought Chingy would be. That's a very. I think it's a good, solid pick, right? Lots of radio play, lots of MTV play, and like early 2000s again, like 2000, kind of like 2, 3, right? Huge MTV presence.
Oh yeah, all over.
So,
oh my gosh,
there you go.
Okay, that's a good one. That's a good one. Okay,
there you go. Solid.
Okay, I do not have a tit for tat on the rap genre.
That's all right. It's fine.
So I'm gonna, but in direct contradiction to what I just said about old classic rock music, people no longer touring, I will say that not only do I have a classic rock band that is still touring, but also did I also find that they have a convenient 1-week break in their tour schedule around the time of the Missouri State Fair?
Oh, gasp.
Yes, I did. Yes, I did. I again, this may not be good fit, but then you remember because again, I deep dive. They have not performed at the Missouri State Fair since 2002. So not only it's 20 years removed from their last thing, but we're still going strong on a grand tour, world tour here, and they've got a week-long break between North Carolina and Georgia. I'm just saying,
hey, that's right there.
REO Speedwagon, come on down.
Yo, that's a good one. Oh man.
Yeah. And they've got time. I've found a break in their schedule. When I saw that, I was like, well, because I would try and do the like, are they still touring? Or are they, oh my gosh, like, oh, they are. Okay, what are they doing? Are they, would it even be conceivably possible for this to happen? So now we're getting into a little bit of, conspiracy corners here. But
there you go. Like that. Yeah. Not only is that a good choice, it's plausible.
It's a plausible. Right?
I did not really look into the plausibility of any of my acts being able to attend. Right, but
after that one, I stopped. That was actually the first one that I thought of. So after that, I was like, that's too much. I can't do that for these 4.
Yeah, I can't do that for 3 more. I gotta rein myself in a little bit.
Yes.
No, that's good. That's a good one. So, dang, that's solid. Man, I can't beat that. But what I can offer you,
okay,
right, is another kind of rocky band, right? Definitely very like 1999, right? Really good, really radio rock. This song's specifically one of these songs, literally everywhere, right? Ubiquitous at their time. They would have people singing along, undoubtedly, at the Missouri State Fairgrounds. I am, of course, putting Lit.
Oh
yeah. Oh yeah. There you go.
Nice.
Right. Yeah. Giant presence on the radio and MTV, like 99 or 98, 99, whatever. Big one. Yeah. I think that would be good. It'd be good.
That would be a good. Okay.
Yeah.
I like that one. I'm noticing that on the break of timelines on this, I think you've kind of fell more on the 90s, and I'm just on the other side of the 2000s. Yes. I think this is very interesting. It's very interesting here. My next one, I went for more like high energy, because again, big grandstand, high energy, a lot of people like anthematic songs, like lots of singing. Again, the big crowd singing kind of stuff is always very popular. So I'm going to offer 2008's Imagine Dragons.
Oh, there we go.
That's what the Missouri State Fair needs. I'm just saying.
There you go. I like it. They do have big state fair energy. I'm not gonna lie.
Yes, they do. Yeah. Now, I don't think that they are currently touring, so that is definitely. I don't think that is not a possibility one. But
probably not just like hop in for a one-off, right? Like
probably not. Do you know what kind of money you have to throw at people to come up and do a one-off? Like it's
probably a lot. Yeah. I don't know, unless they're not being offered any other things, and then they might be like, "Yes, let's go."
Do you ever? Okay, I love this lineup. I would happily go see any of these. I guess when you said, as soon as you said Chingy, I was like, "Oh my gosh, yes, that would be an amazing act to bring out."
Right. He's solid. I'm telling you, you've been sleeping. You people in 2024 sleeping on Chingy. You should listen to that album again. You should, or for the first time. You should go check that out and be like, oh yeah, there you go. So that early 2000s rap, it's what you need in your life some days, right?
Mm-hmm. I think that's necessary. That's necessary. No, that's good. That's good. So I will submit this. I get this out ASAP so that they can stop booking whoever they've booked and get these people instead.
Yeah, get Chingy and Lit and REO Speedwagon.
already already found the hole in their booking. It's
Man, the
surely
mega concert. Look at that. That'd be great.
RSVP doesn't need a break. Come on. They don't need a week to recover.
Yeah, come on.
Probably. Very wrong. Oh, that's great. I like
great.
that.
That was fun. I like that.
That's
was
good. Yeah. Well, as soon as you mentioned the 4, I was like, yes, they must do that. Must do that. It's so funny to see the release of the bands, of the music acts that they are announcing, and just because they release it and then it gets shared to all of the local Facebook groups, and listen, just their reactions to it is fantastic. And then you compare that to the reaction to the people directly on the Missouri State Fair page. Like, it just, the very difference between those is wonderful. So
yeah, because you shared with me like the Ludacris and the Goo Goo Dolls one, right? And immediately when you mentioned these names, I could like hum their songs, right?
Yes.
And so I tried to match that energy with my list. You did too. You did a really good job of having like immediate name recognition.
Yes.
Being like, oh yeah, I know them. Like, be able to sing something, right? Or like know what it's about, right? So that is, I think you did good.
Well, and I appreciate the also the Missouri locals kind of stuff too, when pulling those in when you can, because that's always a favorite as well. Some of that hometown,
right.
That local pride too is important. So that's good. That's good,
right? Yeah, I struggled on that. I was trying to find one, right? And I thought about who could it be, and I was like, well, it's got to be. Chingy, right?
Only one option. So.
He's not the only option, but it's one of the first ones I thought that I could remember some songs by.
Right. Well, and fit the rest of the criteria, really.
Yeah, fit the rest of the criteria. I bet that'd be a good show. He's a very high energy guy, I bet. So
yeah. Well, we'll give him a call. See what he's doing.
What's up? Hit him up. Hit him up on Instagram. Yo, thingy, what's up?
Boy, do I have the idea for you.
Yes.
As we talk about music acts in town here, I need to write a note we need to discuss the Ozark Music Festival 50-year anniversary debacle that's going on here in town. I'm going to just drop that as a teaser.
Okay. Yes.
And we'll cover that next time.
All right. Sounds good. As well as we'll keep the listeners updated on who the Missouri State Fair actually books and see if ours is better. Going to judge them partially now, since we have a fantasy draft. We're going to see.
Yes. Doing this right now. I'm just writing this. Music Fest. And who did the fair book, and judge them accordingly.
Yeah.
I'm writing that down. And
if we get any right, I'm going to like freak out. It'd be hilarious.
I think that means we have to go. I think that's what that means.
Maybe.
Yeah. That's absolutely what that means.
Accidentally get one right, that'd be hilarious. We'll see.
Okay. Well, to bring us down and help us to refocus and get back into the rest of the week as we go into a break or not, or whatever's happening with the schedule. Always sitting back and who knows, enjoying a little bit of poetry is always wonderful. So I have a haiku here for us.
Oh yeah.
Okay. Endless scrolling blues. Profiles gleam, reality fade. Networking's cold gaze.
Oh my gosh, it's beautiful.
I never did finish updating my LinkedIn profile, so I've got that still. Write that over here. Inspired me for something, and that's what 6 months in Italy could really refine. That's what I'm ready for.
Really tighten the poetry. Ready for that release, that book release, right?
Oh, that's what we do. That's what we sit down, we compile them all, right? And that's what that 6 months is dedicated, just getting that out the door. And
it's true.
Okay, so
I know. So side note, just like kind of hilariously, one of the English teachers at school is leaving, and she's getting a job in publishing. I may have to interrupt. Like, hey,
just
by the way,
hey, what's a first step for somebody?
If a person had a book of haikus, say, and
that's really specific, but it's random, just randomly, just book of anything, but specifically maybe haikus.
Hypothetically, if a person had a book of haikus that wanted to publish,
would that be different than a short novel or it's fiction? Just let me know how that.
Yeah, a poetry collection, if you will.
Yes. Yeah. Okay. Well, you've got some reporting and investigation to do.
Yeah.
And we'll come back and start putting that together. Okay. Very good.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, we'll go forth and conquer. And man, I'm excited to see who gets announced this week.
Yeah, me too. Now I want to know.
I'm going to make a little checklist and put it on my desk. Okay.
Yes.
Love you.
Me too.
Bye.
Bye.